Today we're going to make tomato confit. What is a confit? Basically, you're cooking something in fat. I'm sure you've heard of duck confit, duck legs cooked in duck fat. We're going to do this with these lovely homegrown tomatoes. Just look at some of these absolute beauties that we have grown. And we are going to use extra virgin olive oil as our fat component for the confit. And we're going to add some nice aromats and herbs. This is a great little recipe to have in your back pocket because once you know how to do tomato confit, you can pretty much confit anything. So get creative. Right, let's have fun.
So you're going to need 450 grams or about a pound of tomatoes. I'm using these homegrown pear tomatoes, these little teardrop ones. They're fantastic. You can also use regular full-size ones as well. Now what you're going to do is score the opposite side. You're going to make a little cross with a knife just like this. And then set them aside with a bowl of ice for later. Then you want to peel and slice 2 cloves of garlic and 1 shallot. You don't have to go ultra fine, so don't worry if it's a little bit rough. And we're also going to get a selection of herbs. I used basil, thyme, and some lemon thyme, just basically stuff I had grown in my garden. Use what you have. Combine this all together into a bowl, and we're going to set this aside. Then we're going to pour over enough boiling water to cover these tomatoes. Make sure the water is boiling. Cover this with a lid and leave this for about 30 seconds to a minute. Put this into your ice water, and you're going to see the skins are going to start to peel off. That was the reason why we scored the tomatoes earlier. Now you can use your knife and just peel the skin off like this, or they should come off quite easily with your hands as well. Just wipe your hand on a kitchen towel as you go. Do not throw out those skins. We're going to use those later. Now put your shallots, onions and herbs into your tomato mixture, but save about a tablespoon of this mixture for later. That lemon thyme smells amazing. Give a nice little seasoning of salt, and then we're going to put in about 250 mils or enough extra virgin olive oil to cover your tomatoes. Now I know this seems like a lot, but trust me, it's not. We're going to reuse all of this oil just generally in life later. Mix this around and we're going to bake this for 1 hour at 250 degrees Fahrenheit or 120 degrees C. Now take those beautiful tomato skins, put them on a bit of kitchen paper just to blot out any excess moisture. And we are actually going to put this in the dehydrate function of an air fryer. If you don't have this, you can put this in the low oven. Season it up, add the rest of the herbs and the onion garlic mixture that you had. And I think the setting is about 4 to 5 hours on the air fryer. So a bit of a long project, but you can just set it and forget it. Once it's gone in there for 4 to 5 hours, the skins should look like this. They have dehydrated perfectly. Just look at the beautiful color of those. Now we're going to put those into a blender and we're going to blitz them up into a lovely powder. This powder is an umami bomb. You can do this with all kinds of skins from fruits and vegetables like plums, parsnips, carrots. Use your imagination. The smell and the color of this is unbelievable. Straight up, this tastes like ketchup crisps. If you're in Canada, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe this is what they use. Okay, the tomatoes should be nice and confit after 1 hour of being in the oven at 250. You don't want to overcook them so they go to mush, but you can tell when they're done. You should be able to pick one up like this with your hand and it should not fall apart on you. These look perfect, if I do say so myself. Now you can serve this like this, but we're going to separate this and put this into 2 different containers. And I'm going to use some for a different dish. You can see I also used another whole tomato there as well, using the same process. This oil is gold dust. You can use this in vinaigrettes. You can use this in any kind of an emulsion for a mayo, pesto, you name it, the list goes on. So do not throw it out. It can be reused over and over. Now a quick little dish. We're going to take a couple of tablespoons of goat's cheese. Put in about 1.5 spoons of that lovely tomato confit oil. Break it down a little bit, grate in about 1/3 of a lemon zest, a nice bit of white pepper, and a little pinch of salt. Mix this all together nicely and give it a little taste just to make sure it's all seasoned correctly, and then set this aside in your fridge. Then we're going to use some baguette. We have a link to that on the website from a previous video. Slice a few of these and just grill these until they're kind of lightly toasted. You can use any kind of bread you've got. I'm just using the baguette because I had this left over from a previous video. Let them cool down on a rack like this, and then take a few of your confit tomatoes, gently pick them out and put them into a separate container. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a couple of teaspoons and make some quenelles. You've seen me do this before. Just run your teaspoon like this, back and forth, compressing the mixture and shaping it to the size of the teaspoons, and then just put it on your bread like that. There you go. Should just pop out. You can also warm up the back of the spoon to help it come off as well, or just pry it off gently. Now repeat the process with the rest of your pieces of bread. And then we're going to put on a lovely confit tomato next to each one of those quenelles. Just go through delicately, put them on. This just gives you a beautiful presentation. Absolutely delicious. And then what we're going to do is get some little basil leaves, add a bit of that confit oil, mix them together, and then we're just going to get the tweezers and gently put them on just to give you a lovely presentation. We're going to put these onto a plate for serving, and then we're going to add our beautiful tomato powder all over the top, and then we're just going to finish with a couple of drops of that confit oil. This is a unbelievably simple but elegant canapé that you can make anytime. Enjoy, my friends. This one is delicious.
So here we have a lovely, beautiful confit tomatoes. Plenty luxury indeed. Super great way to keep some tomatoes in your fridge for the summer when you're going towards the fall, so you can still remember what summer was like. And the beautiful thing with this is you can have these in your fridge, have them ready, put them in a pasta. You can put them in any kind of dish, a nice bit of seared tuna, confit tomato on top. Lots of possibilities. It is a great recipe to have in your toolkit. And this makes a beautiful little canapé for your guests with a nice little glass of bubbly. Cheers. It's a lot of flavor. The tomato just like explodes. You get all this lovely flavor, the garlic, the shallots, the herbs. The tomato is so juicy. Having it with the goat cheese is a really nice little touch because it gives you a bit of richness. And then that little tomato powder is a great way to use up your skins. You can do that with any kind of skin off a fruit or a vegetable. Just dehydrate it and make it into a powder. Keeps for ages. These are absolutely lush. Ooh. So do me a favor, if you like this, please like, comment and subscribe so we can grow this channel. Appreciate all of you that have done so far. Right, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. So good.